Right. I think I'm live. Let's wait before people turn up. Right, so Assalamu alaikum and good evening or afternoon wherever you're watching me in the world. Let me know if you can hear me properly. So I'm Mohsen Gul. You might know me or you might not know me. I'll introduce myself anyways. I'm the team leader at Greenbox, Pakistan, and I'm also currently undertaking my PhD research on youth engagement and environmental volunteering at the University of Nottingham, UK. At present, I'm here in Bangkok. You might be able to see the skyline of Bangkok. I'm not sure, but it's damn hot in here. But I'm trying to cope up with that. I'm here to help UNESCO Asia Pacific team with design of an inclusive youth policy toolkit for the region. So that's about me. Right. Welcome to the Facebook Live series of Greenbox, and today we'll be talking about rather a fleshy word, global citizenship, and see how relevant it is in context of country like Pakistan, and what we can do to help ourselves become better citizens of the country and the world. I'm going to wait just 30 seconds more for other people to join, and then we can start. But I'll run you through the session plan meanwhile. So today's session will possibly run for about 30 to 40 minutes and roughly will be divided into three components. I'll begin by discussing the findings of an upcoming National Human Development Report on Youth, which is authored by Dr. Adil Najm and Dr. Faisal Bari. As the report has yet to be published on coming Tuesday, I'm going to be sharing the findings from an article I sourced earlier today from the national newspaper Dawn. We will then focus on the concept of global citizenship and the ways through which we normal people can acquire these skills. And finally, I will introduce you to my passionate team of Greenbox, who is going to help us transfer these skills to young people in Pakistan. And of course, there is a special announcement towards the end about a web series we're going to start soon. So stay tuned till the very end. Right, so let's set the context of what it is like to be young in Pakistan. And this part is based on the findings of the National Human Development Report 2018 on youth, which is going to be releasing on 2nd May. So Pakistan has a youth bulge. About 29% of Pakistani population is between the age of 15 and 29. And if we look at anyone under the age of 30, then it's about 64%. That's a lot of young people. And the number of young people is bound to increase till the end, till the year 2050. Now, you should know that Pakistan got its independence in 1947 and will complete its 100 years of existence by the year 2047. So we really need to build on this resource bank if we want to unleash the real potential of people of Pakistan. So for the sake of understanding, let's assume that there are 100 young people in Pakistan. Now, out of these 100 young people, 60 at present are unemployed. They have no job. 94 have limited or no access to a library. Only 15 have access to internet. And 48 out of possible 100 young Pakistanis think Pakistan has a bright future. Dr. Najm, who's also Dean at Boston University and ex-Vice Chancellor of Lahore University of Management Sciences, says that the world of young Pakistanis is as diverse, as differentiated, and as divided as the rest of Pakistan. We have a big rural-urban divide. So, all is not gloomy. We'll see how, within this context, we can work for a better Pakistan and better people. I apologize in advance if you can hear the traffic in the background because that's crazy in Bangkok. Now, coming back to the report suggests that we need to do three key investments, and they are calling it the 3 E's. education, employment, and engagement. We need to focus on quality education, gainful employment, and meaningful engagement. We need to provide these to our youth, and this will help empower them to unleash their potential. Now, better education is no surprise. Of course, it's the basis of becoming a developed country or a developed nation. Education is a must. But most of the focus is on numbers. Most of the focus is on getting people into universities, schools, and colleges. And often dropout rate of schools is shown as a big thing. Well, that is equally important. But the quality of the current education is far more important than giving people a hope that they'll end up on better places after getting educated. But if the process is not worthy of that, then what's the point? So quality of the education system is very important. We'll come back to how quality can be added. Now, coming to employment, you need to realize that according to the report, anywhere between 1 million and 1.5 million new jobs need to be created in the next 2 decades in Pakistan to cover up the need of the young people. So that's a lot of jobs. Now here's the dichotomy. Employers bemoan that there's a lack of skills and qualification in the labor force, whereas a lot of jobs that are being produced are usually of low quality, casual, unreliable, and do not serve the basic dignity of the workers. In particular, the crisis deepens for women because we have not created a support infrastructure which is gender neutral or gender friendly. So there is really a need to work on both. Okay, I'll speak louder, sorry. There's really a need to work on providing a support infrastructure and the right skills needed for the future job markets. So what are we doing at Greenbox? We are attempting to identify the skills of future. We are attempting to identify what skills are needed by the year 2030 or even by 2047. We ran a very successful survey with about 2,000 young people across Pakistan, and we tried to identify what is that causes problems to them, what is that they look at. And one of the biggest findings is trying to reduce the employability gap in the market. The final E is meaningful engagement. Now, the report defines meaningful engagement as the belief amongst young people that they have a voice, and they just don't have a voice for themselves, but they have a voice for the most important decisions impacting their life at all levels, local, national, global. It is clear from the report that young people in Pakistan do not believe they do have that voice as yet. But they clearly are desperate to find out ways through which their voices can be heard. Kindly let me know if you can hear me properly now. Thank you. The context of this engagement doesn't make things easier for organizations or initiatives like Greenbox to work. However, because they are desperate for provision of fora where they can come forward and get ability to make their voices be heard, Greenbox is trying to develop first of its kind youth engagement lab, where we'll be providing maker spaces to young people to think, collaborate, and co-create ideas and research focusing on their issues. Sounds very fancy and very doable, but it's really difficult in reality, because youth is a differentiated and a heterogeneous group. How do we ensure that we reach out to possible youth groups, including marginalized youth groups? Right, coming back to global citizenship, for which we are here. So the report has set up a context where we know now that young people are weighted, vulnerable, marginalized in one way or the other, and there is so much potential and an existing challenge which needs to be focused on. Now, citizenship. Citizenship is quite a controversial term for a country like Pakistan. Usually it is attributed with nationalistic spirit. So we are Pakistanis, we're proud Pakistanis, and that's about it. But the concept of citizenship has evolved with time. Historically, citizenship did not extend to all people. It started with men. Men only had the right to become citizens. Then it went to property owners. Now, during the past century, there has been a gradual movement towards more inclusive understanding of the concept of citizenship, usually influenced by the development of civil rights, political rights, and social rights. Now, the current perspectives on national citizenship vary between countries, reflecting differences in political and historical context, amongst other factors. An increasingly globalized world has raised a very important question. What does it mean, or what does it constitute to be a meaningful citizen given the global dimensions of our reach? So UNESCO has attempted to define global citizenship. According to them, global citizenship is a sense of belonging to a broader community and common humanity. So it has two components. We are part of a broader community and we are part of a common humanity. It emphasizes on political, economic, social, and cultural interdependency and interconnectedness between the local, national, and global levels. So it's just like that we are part of a big circle of life and we're not alone in this. There's so many other people, not just people, also other species and other the broader physical environment that we operate in. So I've tried to identify three dimensions of global citizenship, or what it is like to be a global citizenship. I'm calling it cognitive, socio-emotional, and behavioral. Now, cognitive element is when you have the understanding and you can critically think about global, regional, national, and local issues and understand that these are interconnected. Local actions have global impacts. Global actions have local impacts. It goes both ways. So we have to start thinking and making people understand what it is like to coexist in a broader community. Then, socio-emotional element, that is the sense that you belong to a common humanity. You have shared values. What are those shared values? What's your responsibility? What does it mean to have empathy, solidarity, amnesty, respect for differences and diversity? I cannot understate the importance of these terms for a nation like Pakistan and the times we are existing in. With all the global drama and problems that exist, you really need to focus on issues on empathy and solidarity. I just had a recent conversation with the team leader of youth policy toolbox design, and they mentioned that amnesty was a key component. The ability to listen to others while holding on to your opinions is extremely important. Right. And the last component is behavioral. Now you have the knowledge, you have the understanding. How can you effectively act on it, and how can you responsibly share it with others? That's the challenge, and that is what we need to focus on. So what we have done at Greenbox, we have developed an exclusive curriculum around this. We're trying to capture these key areas which are usually missing in our education system at all levels. That's how we came up with the idea of a box. Now, box has four corners, so we have defined these four corners. For us, these corners include global citizenship, future thinking, environmental stewardship, and socio-ethical well-being. Global citizenship, we've discussed, is the understanding of the interconnectedness nature of the earth. Future thinking is all the problems we thought about Pakistan's and skills we require for young people to be employed. So that's where we need to concentrate our actions, developing entrepreneurs, giving employment opportunities to people and all. And environmental stewardship is the concern towards environment, that you really want to conserve your own environment and the environment of others. And finally, ethical and social well-being. All concerns about shared values and responsibilities and ethical reasoning, and believing that we have to live in an equal world with equity and neutrality with other people. Now, we're trying to do this by promoting societal, economic, and political change, as well as informing people that you guys need to transform your own behavior. We have identified ways through which we can help people become sustainable citizens and be able to understand, for foremost, have the ability to understand the current and future complex challenges at the global level and at the national level. Right. So, what can you do to become a global citizen? More than ever before, young people in Pakistan need that opportunity to leverage the resources to learn, experience, and share, to make world a better place for everyone, not just for themselves. But the question is, where do we start? So Isaac has done some work around this, and they have given 4 steps that lead you to become a better global citizen or to become a global citizen. The very first step is to reflect. It is important to take a moment and reflect on your self experiences, your own life experiences, and know what you value the most. Why? By understanding yourself and what your priorities are, it will allow you to open up and accept what others are providing. So, extremely important to sit down and reflect. If you know Maslow's hierarchy of self-actualization, you would know it's a key concept to first understand your own self, and then only you can bring about the change. And of course, you will not have all the answers. I am a third culture kid. I was born in a different country, raised in a different country, educated in a different, and working in a different country. So I have different experiences, and I often reflect and often feel either part of the community or not part of the community, but that's a learning process, and that is how you become receptive to others and acknowledge that we are different yet same. Right. The next step, Isaac says, considers important in becoming global citizens is sharing. Now, sharing is caring. By sharing your opinions, not just opinions, informed opinions, values, and knowledge to others across the world, you will allow others to see things from a different point of view. Often I've seen young Pakistanis blaming media and all the possible problems that come with negative publicity and negative media projection. But then we as ambassadors have roles to play as well. You can give different opinions and values and knowledge to other people so that they look at you and your country differently. Similarly, work with them in an ethical, professional way. Share your knowledge. This will help divert all the negative energies into positivity, and you will not just be doing good for yourself, but you will be doing good for your country as well, and of course for the global understanding of living together. And this is a step in the right direction. Thirdly, you need to learn. No one can have enough knowledge. Learning about new culture, religions, traditions, ideas with an open mind is extremely important. I feel dejected when we do not talk about other religions or we do not talk about other cultures, whereas Pakistan is the home ground of one of the world's oldest civilizations, Indus Valley civilization. So we really need to open up our historical roots and let people acknowledge how diverse and how diverse the world is, and how we have come up to the place where we are today, and how we can go forward. By doing so, you will not only become aware of your own reality, but the reality of others around you. And this will help you apply your decisions in a progressive way. And finally, the fourth stage is to experience. These are not mutually exclusive, or they are not in any hierarchy here. All these 4 steps can happen at the same time. You should experience through reading a newspaper, watching news on TV, attending sessions, attending a concert, listening to folk music. Nothing actually compares to first-hand experience though, but then again, if you have limited resources, you can still, by thanking ICT and internet, you can still have access to all these things. So first-hand acknowledgement and experience will really help you understand what it means to be a global citizen. I'm sure a lot of you will, or people who are working in other countries or have gone and have experienced in other countries would really understand what it means to be a global citizen, because you know that in a common space and time you are going to have similar experiences, yet you'll be having a background of all your own experiences, and you'll have to leave that baggage to come together and live with other people in a different way. So that's the challenge, but that's what needs to be taught to people. Right. So all that it takes is one person to start the change. Why is that person not you? So you can do much more than you think you can. If you're a parent, encourage your kids to learn about cultures within the country and beyond. If you're a student, start a school or a college group on global perspectives. I would definitely suggest you to go and learn about sustainable development goals, explain it to your family, peers, colleagues. And these goals are not just United Nations agenda of fulfilling certain objectives or tokenism. You can mold it, leave the UN, leave everything. You can mold it to your own sustainable lifestyle. Don't you want to end poverty? Don't you want to have quality education? Don't you want clean water and acknowledgement of gender rights and all possible things? That's the way of living, and that's what we need to focus on, rather than look at it in a negative way and say, oh, it's just an international mandate and all. Well, that may be or may not be true. That depends on your own understanding. But look at these goals as your own life goals. What are you doing to help achieve this? One of the key resources in this regard is UN's Lazy Guide to Save the World. Now, it has all ways through which you can play your part by not leaving your couch, quite literally. So go and have a look at that. We are at Greenbox trying to translate it in Urdu as well, so that we can share it with maximum people. Now, at Greenbox, we are undertaking an SDGs localization project in which we are trying to develop content in Urdu to reach out. Urdu is the national language of Pakistan. We're trying to reach out to maximum young people in Pakistan, rural and urban. Now remember, about 60% of youth lives in rural areas with limited access to these resources. Like 60% of people can't watch me here on Facebook Live right now. So how do we reach out to them? The answer is through you. You can be the bridge between rural and urban youth. You can share it with your rural peers. You can plan out on exchanges how you can spread the message to peers like you and others. So that's the challenge, and that is where the opportunity is, and that is where innovation needs to come from people like you. And that's the whole idea of while becoming a global citizen, you really need to acknowledge issues at home as well and try to strive to improve them. In that way, you will also be contributing to the global agenda and perspective. And keep your understanding of issues open, and take examples from countries near you, neighbors, countries from other regions, and try to develop partnerships, not just North-South, from Global North and Global South, but also within South-South. And acknowledging that we are different, yet we are similar to others across us. Those who joined us just now, I've just completed the section on the global citizenship, education in Pakistan, and how we can encourage young people to play a part. I wouldn't be going back to that section now, so if you can watch the video again later, maybe that will be a better option. While now I'm going to introduce you to my team. At Greenbox, we are a young, passionate team. Our average age of the team is 27. There's a core team which includes me as the team leader. Then I have Ehsan. Ehsan's my twin brother. He's the co-founder of this initiative. He has a master's in sustainability from the University of Nottingham, and is currently working with the government of Punjab in setting up a public health agency. Right. So the idea of green box really developed organically, and it took us about 2 years to really find out where the focus is. It's not very lucrative in terms of business because education is often considered boring. So we had to look at ways through which we can make it interesting for young people. So we ran a survey with about 2,000 young people. We did a lot of interviews and focus groups with people across not just Pakistan but other places as well, trying to find a way. And we've finally come up with a curriculum which is a guiding force for all our programs that we're designing. If you want to take a look at that, please visit greenbox.world, or there's a link in the photo section of Facebook. While you're at it, kindly follow us on Twitter and Instagram as well. We keep posting interesting stuff. Right. So my team, I'll start with Ellie. I'm going to skip the last names because otherwise it becomes too long. So Ellie is a final year geography student at University of Nottingham. She's been associated with Girl Guiding Association and also the UK's International Citizen Service. She worked for 3 months with an NGO in rural India working on youth engagement programs. So way to go, Ellie. Then I have Ilaria. Ilaria is an environmental management professional. She's working with Tetra Pak Italy right now, and she's passionate about sustainable business and sustainability reporting. Aniba is a PhD scholar at Government College University, Lahore. She is working with the Green Box as a research analyst, and she's helping us develop youth engagement content in Urdu. Then I have Sahar. Sahar is currently enrolled in master's degree at Central European University, studying environmental sciences, policy and management. She is skilled in sustainable development, sustainable strategy and reporting, and has diverse experience in the pulp and paper industry. Then we have Muhammad Umar. Umar is currently completing his Masters of Management in La Trobe University. He has worked as a marketing executive with Care Foundation Pakistan and is a vivid debater as well. Maha is a Chevening scholar, and she's an international public policy specialist. She's been associated with Sustainable Development Policy Institute in Pakistan and is currently a faculty member at ITU Lahore. Zashan is an emerging lawyer and a sustainability aficionado. He's represented Pakistan in the Student Leaders Program at the US Embassy and has also taken up youth leadership training roles in Turkey and Central Europe, and was also a primetime youth dialogue show host at the national TV in Pakistan. Then I have David. David comes from the US. David is program officer at UNESCO Bangkok and has diverse experience and skills of working with young people on policy formulation, strengthening youth networks, and creating media advocacy content. Then we have Momina. Momina is currently working as a research associate with the Health Department in Pakistan. She has a master's in development studies from SOAS University of London, and her thesis research project focused on failure of MDG of universal primary education in Pakistan. Then we have Junaid Sahab. Junaid Sahab is an economist by training, and he has a diverse experience of working on various assessment of environmental and economic development projects, and he was also a faculty member at Government College University, Lahore. And finally, my friend Abdul Jamil, he has a majors in political science and communications. He designed advocacy content for WWF Pakistan, and also manages strategic public relations for different brands and firms in Pakistan. So that's my small team, not that small now, but we are hoping to come together and create real change. You're most open to join us in one way or the other. Kindly visit greenbox.world for looking at your interest areas, and feel free to write to me at mohsen@thegbox.org. I'll leave the link later in the video. Right, and I have an announcement to make. I've just had an idea last Saturday about starting a vlog series on historical understanding of youth engagement in Pakistan, and I'm calling it Shaheen Ka Safar. Now, Shaheen refers to falcon, which has been attributed in the literature by Pakistan's national poet Allama Iqbal to youth. Now, according to him, it's all about rising above your current circumstances and challenging and facing them wholeheartedly. I really want young people to start acknowledging these examples from our past. And hopefully, this will encourage young people to come forward and do more. I want to share stories of Jinnah's vision of Jinnah, founder of Pakistan's vision of young people's involvement. Similarly, so much more, and hopefully I'm aiming to develop 7 to 10 vlogs in this series. As passionate project, there's very little information available. We'll try our best to do whatever we can in this regard. If you have any information or you want any personality to be shared in terms of youth engagement and all, please feel free to write to us. Right. So, and if you want to write for Greenbox, you can, for our Green Paper series, the details are in the photos section of our Facebook page, or you can visit the website. If you think this session was useful, give us a thumbs up. I think a lot of people have given, and let us know what do you want to learn about next. And maybe we can invite more speakers for you in the future sessions too. And hopefully our awesome team is going to run some sessions in the future as well. Right. So thank you so much for watching. If there are any questions, I'll just wait for another minute. Otherwise, have a great Monday and take care. It's about 9:30 in Bangkok, time to sleep and work tomorrow. So wherever in the world you are, have nice supper, dinner, or evening snack. Right, take care and goodbye.